how is the lockdown order and the virus, how are they impacting congregations in South Africa?
It has really been impacted in that we are so used to fellowship. I'm sure you are facing the same there. We are so used to be together, shaking hands, hugging, kissing, so we can't do that anymore. So this is new to all of us globally, So what we have done, especially around our area, our congregation in particular, Davidton Church of Christ, we're able to buy slots from DSTV. DSTV was like a cable network to broadcast our services. So every Sunday at 11 o'clock, there's this particular channel on TV. It's a religious channel where we bought about 24 minutes. It's quite expensive, but we said, no, what, we need to do this because we're not only doing for one congregation. What we have found out since we started for 5 weeks now, it's reaching all Southern African countries, about 7 countries in number. We get messages from them. We get phone calls from them. This last Sunday, after them listening to our sermon, I got a lot of calls because they put my numbers there. I think in case you need prayer, you need to study, call our minister. So I've been receiving a lot of calls. I've been busy. Like I said to you, we're busy more than we are when we really, in a normal time. So I've been busy returning calls because I got a lot of missed calls. So I'm really quite busy. Some churches, like in Durban, are busy now making follow-ups. Because what I do, if someone calls from Durban, I identify a church in that area, and I tell the brethren or a minister that to call this particular person and set up an appointment with them. So I've been doing that, and it's working very well. Some people are from Zimbabwe who are writing to us to say, we saw your numbers there. I want to know more about the church. Or sometimes they call, just appreciate what the church is doing because they said, this is new. They never heard this kind of preaching. They say we are so used to watch people or preachers. I'm not talking about Church of Christ now, denominations, talking about miraculous signs and healing and praying for people to get jobs and after that they want money, all those things and speak in tongues. They say we are so used to this, but you guys are just there to speak the truth. You are preaching from the Bible. You are reading the Bible. You can see that it's something that really we never seen before. To the point, some of them are asking us, where have you been all along? Is Church of Christ new? Where did it come from? And all that. So it's quite interesting to say Church of Christ is not new. Also, what we have done, there's a church in Pretoria, downtown Church of Christ, what they do every Tuesday night, yesterday, and for an hour, we are on this Zoom, whereby we link all preachers around SADC countries, all preachers, to be part of the discussion. So yesterday we were discussing what more things we can do to reach out to our members since we're not meeting. Because our members, sometimes some of them are so poor that actually this is impacting their lives. Some of them have no food. So what is the church doing, in looking after their members, even people outside the church, in that area where the church building is? What are we doing? So we're discussing those things and trying to share what other churches are doing, reaching out to their members, especially the elderly, and also in trying to provide for them whatever needs that they have. So I think the church really, we are doing something. So in our meeting yesterday, I think most churches are going to do more because some of them didn't know what to do. So we also encourage them to make sure they call members and check on them, especially the elderly. I've been doing this for the past 5 weeks, and every time I call an elder person, I can tell you they get so happy, they're so encouraged. Just that phone call, 1 minute, but I'm telling you, end up being 10 minutes because they're just going to talk to you and so on. So it's wonderful because that's a way to keep our members. So that post-lockdown, I'm sure we have not lost anybody. Because the fear is that if we don't engage with our members, we might lose some of them, spiritual so. Some of them may not come back to church. So we are trying and doing our best to mobilize churches around Southern Africa. I'm talking about so many countries in Southern Africa through this Zoom platform that we are using every Tuesday night to discuss, to share ideas and what we are doing to keep the church going.
Okay. So really this is, it seems like shutting down churches would keep the message from getting out, but really this has given you an opportunity to get the message further beyond even Davidton to Durban and Zimbabwe and other places where people will watch it on TV and maybe have never heard of it before. It gives you an opportunity to make those contacts for local churches. Interesting. Very good. I'm glad to hear that. Glad to hear good news. That's good about the Zoom meetings and that the preachers are
Yes.
able to get
I
together.
didn't know either. I didn't know either. Actually, in our meeting yesterday, those preachers said to us that, know what, Devon Church of Christ must lead in trying to maintain this platform, TV platform, even after the lockdown,
Yeah.
because it seems as if it's able to reach out to so many countries, so many people. All right. And people are asking questions about the church. For example, if you look at Lord's Supper, the questions I was getting yesterday is what about Lord's Supper, because what you do also is not about listening to a sermon. It's also an opportunity for brethren all over Southern Africa to partake Lord's Supper at the same time. And we are doing that for the first time. That brethren from all Southern Africa who have access to this cable network, and most of them, you have seen those dishes in South Africa, you've seen those,
Yeah.
so that means they can be able to access us, So what you do, will have someone standing up for 5 minutes, conduct Lord's Supper there. So you'll say, okay, we're going to partake Lord's Supper, so I'm going to read this passage, and then you praise and say, okay, now let's eat the bread. All right? And then after that, and then say, okay, now we're going to pray for the cup of the vine or fruit of the vine, and then let's partake from it. So all of us in Southern Africa, we are doing that at the same time. So what we said last week in our Zoom meeting with the leaders was that they need to make sure that every household, I'm talking about members of the church, they have the bread, for the Lord's Supper. And also they have the juice or the fruit of the vine or wine, just make sure they have the supplies. So that's what we do also in Devon. We make sure that we have the supplies, we deliver to them house to house. Some of them we tell them to go and collect from the church building to make sure that 11 o'clock South African time on Sunday, they're able to partake from Lord's Supper. So that's a great thing, because not only listen to the message, but also is being, in fellowship with the Lord during that time when we partake from Lord's Supper. It's working. It's working. We are so amazed that actually there is this platform that we neglected for so many years. So in other words, coronavirus, someone was telling me coronavirus is bad, but I came to realize that actually there's something good about it, because the church now is actively doing something so positive, So yeah, so our plan is to make sure we continue. So it's not only television that we're using. There's also what you call live streaming. Many churches are doing that in South Africa, live streaming. I'm not sure other countries in SADC, but in Southern Africa. But there's a lot of live streaming. There's also a platform for the youth. I think every Saturday night, if I'm correct, they got this platform. They're able to listen to the message, participate, engage. So it's wonderful as well. And also we use WhatsApp, to record voice, a sermon, and send to the member of the church. They can listen to it and they can write back, to talk about what did that sermon do to them, what would have learned, and so on. We are doing that. Bible studies as well. Today's Wednesday. On Wednesday, most churches meet for Bible study. There's already people now doing the Bible study in their homes, to the church via WhatsApp, via Facebook, via Zoom, and also other means. I think another one is it's YouTube as well. So we are doing all those things. Yes.
Yeah, so it seems that the coronavirus that's been supposedly keeping people apart, you're using as a way to bring people all over Southern Africa together in a lot of different ways. Well, Eddy, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time this afternoon, and the information. Sounds like some great stuff is happening, and I'm sorry that we're going through it, but I'm glad that God is using it to reach a lot of people through you. So God bless you in your work, and we'll keep praying for the school, and see if we have any questions from people that received this email and the video. And if they have any questions, maybe we can send those to you and get those answered as well.
Thank you so much. I appreciate for the opportunity. Thanks for the platform, the interview. It was wonderful. We love you. Stay safe and keep the faith. I always say to people, keep a positive mind during this time, because you can easily be negative, because there's so many things which are negative around. It's easier to be negative, and be negative about things, you're going to get sick. All right, you're going to lose faith as well. Just keep positive and think about those great things. Think about post-lockdown. Things are going to be okay. You might struggle a little bit financially, but Eventually, we'll be okay. We are God's people. God is with us. Thank you very much.